It was a quiet afternoon in Sarah's new neighborhood. Sunlight filtered through the oak trees as she sipped tea on her porch, enjoying the serene atmosphere. Suddenly, the sound of a rumbling truck broke the silence. A large moving van had parked in front of the vacant house next door. Sarah leaned forward in her chair, eager to see her new neighbor. Her thoughts were interrupted by a loud thud. A large box slipped from his grasp and landed on the driveway. He muttered to himself before inspecting it, and Sarah noted it was unusually big and tightly taped, with no markings. The man glanced around as if checking for onlookers. Quickly, Sarah pretended to focus on her tea, her interest piqued by his peculiar behavior. He didn't greet anyone and worked methodically, disappearing into the house and reappearing with more boxes. By sunset, he had vanished inside. From the driver's side, a tall man with dark hair stepped out, unloading boxes with deliberate movements. He worked alone, and Sarah's curiosity deepened. Why was he by himself? The next morning, Sarah peered out her kitchen window. The moving truck was gone, but the large box remained in the driveway. Her curiosity got the better of her, so she called her friend Emily. "I need backup," she joked. When Emily arrived, they stood on Sarah's porch, eyes fixed on the box. "Let's go say hello," Emily suggested confidently. Sarah hesitated. "What if he's not friendly?" "There's only one way to find out," Emily replied, urging Sarah forward. They approached the man, who was kneeling by the box with tape in hand. "Excuse me," Sarah said softly. "Can we help you?" The man looked up, brushing dust off his jeans, and smiled politely. "No, thank you. I've got it under control." Emily pointed at the box. "What's in there?" "It's huge." He smiled, his eyes gleaming with mischief. "It's a secret." Emily's interest was piqued. "A secret? Now I'm curious." The man chuckled but said nothing more. Sensing the conversation was over, Sarah nudged Emily, and they headed back to their house. "Well, welcome to the neighborhood," Sarah called back. "Thank you," he replied, introducing himself as Thomas. As the days passed, Sarah's thoughts were consumed by Thomas and the mysterious box. Each time she stepped outside, she glanced toward his house, wondering about the box's contents. Was it something valuable or just oversized furniture? One afternoon, while tending her garden, she noticed Thomas assembling an intricate metal sculpture in his driveway. Sweat glistened on his forehead as he focused intently. "What are you making?" Sarah called out, unable to resist engaging him. "Just a little project," he replied, his tone warm yet evasive. "Can I take a look?" she ventured. "Sure, just give me a moment." He gestured for her to approach, and she admired the metal pieces scattered around twisted rods and shiny discs. "It's beautiful," she complimented. "Thank you. It helps keep my mind off things," he said, hinting at something deeper. "Like what?" Sarah asked. "Just life, I suppose," he replied, a shadow passing over his smile. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from inside, startling them. "Just my cat," he said quickly, hurrying inside. Sarah stood there, her curiosity intensified. What was he hiding? Weeks went by, autumn arrived, and the vibrant leaves fell. Sarah remained preoccupied with Thomas's secrets. Emily suggested throwing a gathering to break the ice. "Do you think he'd come?" Sarah asked. "Of course. Just invite a few neighbors," Emily insisted. With encouragement, Sarah sent invitations. On the evening of the gathering, she decorated the backyard with fairy lights. When Thomas arrived, he seemed surprised but accepted warmly. As the night unfolded, laughter filled the air. Sarah watched as Thomas engaged with the neighbors, revealing more of his personality. In a quiet moment, Sarah turned to him, teasing, "So, have you decided to share your secret yet?" Thomas chuckled softly. "This box contains my artistic tools. I'm starting a new project, a sculpture representing change." "That sounds amazing. I'd love to see it," she exclaimed. "Perhaps I could use some help," he suggested playfully. "How about a collaboration?" Excitement surged through Sarah. This mysterious neighbor was inviting her into his world. Maybe it was time for both of them to embrace new beginnings together.